So currently in the UK, the schools have decided that children are not allowed to go to the toilets unless they say so. So if you have children of a school age currently in the UK, the schools get to decide when your children are allowed to go to the toilet. Now, this is apparently due to kids leaving classes and meeting in the toilets and disrupting classes, according to the schools. Understandably, the kids are up in arms about it and have obviously communicated on social media that they've had enough and all collectively decided to walk out of some lessons. So when these kids did go out of the lessons, the schools then decided to call the police on them. And at one particular school that I know of, about 3 riot vans and 5 police cars turned up for a bunch of kids, all protesting because they're not allowed to have a basic human right. And here we are all wondering why we struggle to speak up when we want to speak up. Classic example of having your voice taken away from you when you're at a young age. Now, speaking of having your voice taken away from you and not knowing when this first began, this would be a classic example. And also what I would be doing is looking at root causes of this. Now, from the school's perspective, what are they doing to look at the root cause? They're doing nothing. All they're doing is punishing every single child for probably the few minorities. Now, I don't have the answers. I don't know why these kids aren't in class at the moment, and why they would rather be in the toilets than in the classroom. But that's probably one for the teachers to look at, the root cause, and not the end point that the kids are doing, which is walking out of the class, because there's something that's happened all before this that is making these kids want to go out of the classroom. I can hazard a guess that it's probably because they weren't listened to in the first place. So perhaps if we started looking at the signs beforehand and the root cause of these issues and listening to our children and our young adults, instead of putting them all in the pigeonhole of being badly behaved kids that don't deserve basic human rights, try raising empowered kids instead of disempowered kids with their basic human rights taken away from them. Because if me as a parent decided to limit when my child wanted to go to the toilet, that would be considered child abuse. Why is it any different with the schools? This is a classic example of a traumatic childhood experience. I would love to know in the comments what you guys think about this.